What a way to open up 2018. I was gonna do something nice, but then Ramon Villalobos had to ruin it by being a douche on Twitter. Did you like that? Did you like that intro? Did it look like it was easy to do? Like I was just lazy and threw it together? I'm only asking because Raymond said this bullshit on Twitter. Me and Ramon Villalobos are currently trying to think of ways to monetize being as lazy as right-wing comic critics. Working hard making comics is hard work. If anyone has any ideas, let me know. Okay, for those who don't know, Raymond is the guy who drew those 2 fill-in issues of the America comic where everybody's face looked like a sphincter. That's the guy. The one who didn't look at the designs for any of the characters, and the characters looked inconsistent on practically every fucking page. Let's just have a look. Just a taste. Oh, there we are. Just award-winning. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best artist out there. I'm just saying that if I drew that, I want to dial down the arrogance to like a 5, cause this dude is at 42. But let's get back to this dumbass tweet. So we know Raymond isn't a writer because the proper way to write this sentence is Ramon Villain and I. You know that's the right way because if you remove Ramon Villain, you don't sound like fucking Bizarro. Me am currently trying to think. No, you're not. But Raymond admits he's a community college dropout, so there you go. Then we get this brilliant line. Working hard making comics is hard work, and wet water is wet. Allow myself to introduce myself. Is English your first language, Raymond? Please tell me it's not, because you really shouldn't be this old and that bad at using your first language. Now, Raymond's dumbass tweet is another one of these idiotic lines of arguments that so many SJW pros like to level at comic book critics. They're all white and male and straight and right-wing. I'm not white. I'm not entirely straight. I'm not right-wing. I've never voted Republican. I can't promise I'm not lazy. I mean, I am black. You know how we are. But when you say shit like this, the most obnoxious thing about how these weirdos operate is that they don't even have lights, sets, or basic editing skills. And you don't have basic punctuation skills. You don't need to have lights or sets or basic editing skills to make videos. If it bothered people, then they wouldn't watch the videos. Most of the time, they're probably only listening to the audio. So as long as the voice is clear, most people aren't going to have a problem. The second point is that everyone doesn't have the money to buy the equipment to make it look super professional, or have the space for a set, or the time to learn editing software. Raymond's argument would work a lot better if he applied the same shit to his own writing, cause he follows up his first statement with, well, they rant and rave about how demand higher standards in comics, they can't even make videos as good as children who make slime tutorials. And apparently you can't write sentences as well as the children who make those videos. Let me fix your fucked up sentence, Raymond, so you don't sound like Derek Zoolander. While they rant and rave about higher standards in comics, they can't even make videos as well as children who make slime tutorials. I'm sorry, but I'm just not going to be insulted by a guy who writes worse than a 10-year-old. I do a good amount of editing on my videos, from the audio to the images you see. I'm not the only one. Douglas Ernst, Min Headroom, I Love Comics, Nerkish, and many others take time out of their day to put together visuals that half their audience probably never sees. There's care involved, unlike with you, Raymond, who drew this, saw this, and let it get published. Don't fucking tell me how hard I work on videos, and don't act like there should be a higher standard for comic book critics when Marvel hired you. You're not the best artist on the planet, and yet they hired you, even though by their standards from 20 years ago, you'd have never gotten work. Neither would I, by the way. Hell, you could pull Eiichiro Oda over here, the creator of One Piece, the most popular manga in Japan, and Marvel wouldn't hire him right now. The man sells more books in a week with one title than Marvel does in a month with damn near 100. Still wouldn't hire him. But you're not on his level. Not even close. So before you start trashing the amount of work someone puts into their products, you should make sure that your work lives up to that higher standard. It's fair to criticize critics, but it's not fair to act like you're somehow better than them when your work leaves much, so much, mucho much to be desired. You're really not as good as you're making yourself out to be. Get your head out of your ass. You make comic books, not fine art. There's nothing that you've done that's gonna change the world. Pull your head out of your ass before you create a fucking Mobius strip. My suggestion would be that before you start improving your art, go and buy Rosetta Stone for English because you need it. But what do I know? I'm just some guy.